Hi. So today we should discuss about real estate investment. Now there are various types of categories. There are various categories of real estate investment: residential, commercial, IT space, showrooms, land, residential land, agricultural land. So out of all these, let's begin today with the most popular segment. That is residential apartments. Many of us go to developers for inquiry. They give us an inquiry form which we duly fill, and there is a section where they ask us, are you an investor, end user? That is, they ask us the purpose of booking with them. Most of us very eagerly click on being an investor. So, first of all, let us get a clarity about the concept of being an investor in residential real estate. When we go to buy a property, a residential property, and we shortlist some unit, we check out the pricing, the size. First of all, we shortlist a location, then we hunt down the developer and the most suitable apartment and the property. So, when you're looking at it as an investment, we should be very much clear about few things. The most important and the first point, please don't call yourself an investor if you are taking majority of the part payment as home loan. You are only a investor in a residential unit if you are doing down payment. That means cash down or check down, you are actually paying the entire amount in one go. Or even if not in one go, then the entire amount is self funded. Let it be in some months, some years, unless until otherwise it is not self funded. Please don't call yourself an investor. I'll come back to the reasons why I'm insisting on this, because the psychological impact of being an investor and owning a residential apartment boils down to a lot of hazy situation after a few years. Everything looks blur. So, as in today, when you go, you buy a property, you take a home loan, please consider when you get the possession of the property, are you going to rent it out or are you going to resell it if you are an investor? If I'm an investor, I'm not going to end use it, right? If I want to end use it, it is an entire different story. I will talk about it in next chapter or later in this video. First, I want to just to clear the investor and investment point of view in real estate apartment. So when I'm picking up a unit, I pick up a home loan, then I check on the residential vicinity, livability, and how much rent I will get. As far as we have seen, I'll talk about Pune market, which is one of the number one residential destinations all over India. In fact, globally, a lot of NRI investments have taken place in some time. So, point number one is, what is the rental income I'll get of that apartment? Here, if a unit, for example, is ranging from 50 lakhs to a crore, suppose for a 2 BHK. In suburbs, you will get a 2 BHK for 50 lakhs. As you come into the mainstream, the prime areas, it will not be less than a crore. Now, what is the rental return on that? A unit which is in suburb worth 50 lakhs is not fetching you more than 12,000, maximum 12,000 rent per month. Out of which that 50 lakh you have given at least minimum 10 lakh as down payment and you have taken 40 lakhs as a home loan. Of that 40 lakh as a home loan, minimum EMI is approximately you're giving 40,000 a month. You're paying 40,000 a month EMI. The rental return on that is not even 12,000. Now I'll tell you why not even 12,000. 10 to 12,000 is the prevailing rate in such areas. So once your property is on rent, then you are getting the rent. Na? You'll not get rent of empty property. So the day your rent begins, you will get 12,000 a month. But till then, you are paying a EMI after the possession, at least I'm talking about. I'm not talking about before possession. That is absolutely a different story. You are getting nothing out of it. So post possession, you're getting a rent of 10 to 12,000 if day one of possession you get a tenant, which is not the story, which was never the story in Pune. Especially in suburbs, you never get a rental tenant as soon as you get the possession. It takes months. So that loss is gone. That per month purely EMI of 40,000 is going. Now the rental income which you may get maybe after 3 months, 4 months, 6 months. I have seen apartments being empty for years in suburbs. So you're not getting that return. Once you get, that is also not very considerable. Out of that 12,000, 10,000 rent, now let's check on the maintenance part. You will be paying at least 2 rupees to 2.5 rupees per square feet of your apartment. That comes down to somewhere around 1,500 to 2,000 rupees per square per apartment per month. So the rent of 10,000 automatically comes down to 8,500 for a rented apartment. Empty apartment, let's add that 1,500 or 2,000 rupees maintenance per month to your EMI. In a way, that is your outgoing. So your outgoing has now become 42,000 per month. Now, we should look at other factors also. The other outgoings. Out of that, a very much decent amount goes to the property tax. Add that value to your outgoing. Add minimum electricity bill till your property is not occupied by a tenant. These are absolutely basics. There is no escape to this. You have no other way to waive out the maintenance, waive out the electricity bill, waive out the property tax. You have to pay this. In fact, when your property is rented out, still you have to pay the property tax. Maintenance also. Because in residential property, owners pay the residential maintenance. So there also, if you are getting a rent of 10,000, you come back to 8,500. Now you check your books. You invested 40 lakhs home loan plus 10 lakh of your down payment. Now, if you are a true investor, if I was a true investor, I would add the interest of that 10 lakh down payment which I have given also in my outgoing, which should be minimum repo rate or minimum FD rate. We can calculate at 5% or 6% per annum. So the 6% FD rate of 10 lakh per annum is an added loss to your property or added outgoing to your property. Let's not talk about loss. You will not like it. So when you are buying a property worth 50 lakh, your added outgoing is from the date of possession. Your added outgoing is one, your EMI, then your property tax, then your maintenance, then the down payment interest. At the end of the day, that is also money. Now if I add that down payment interest, my outgoing is almost 50,000 a month, approximately. So now I'm paying 50,000 rupees a month for a property in suburb. I'm not using it. I had put that money as an investment. What should be the return do you think so you should be getting? Now return can be in two portions. One, either I am getting a great rental income from that. Two, the increase in price or increase in the value of my residential unit. Since 2014, in fact way before 2014, as far as I know, there has been no increase in property prices. Developers have in fact contracted the saleable areas and maintained the packages. So when you will go for per square feet price, we will not see any appreciation. So your so-called investment of approximately 50 lakhs is giving you no return on your property, neither rental return nor an investment return as a property appraisal. Thirdly, when you want to resell your property, let's talk about appraisal. And if you have taken a home loan, even if you have taken a self-funded apartment, when you want to resell your property, you should not only look at the prevailing market rate, but you should also look at that how much you have actually paid. While we go and buy a property, developer talks about the per square feet area, the per square feet rate. But at the end of the day, you are going to pay the taxes also, which includes GST, which includes stamp, which includes registration charges. So when you are paying all these taxes, which amounts to almost, I think so, 18%. If a developer is not giving you GST benefit, these value go to 18%. So when it is going to 18%, your value should minimum appreciate to 18% plus in a year or over a time of some years. Is it happening that way? I don't see any appreciation putting money at least for 5 to 6 years time. Since 5 to 6 years time, I haven't seen any appreciation. In fact, when you will calculate it, even if EMI wise by taking a home loan, or if you will calculate the basic interest on a self-funded 50 lakh apartment, there also I don't see any appreciation happening. In fact, when you will look at the balance sheet, your interest values and the outgoings will show you that you are nowhere. So you just bought a concrete box which literally made one farming land a concrete land. You are not even staying there. You are not even getting any rental income out of it in reality. And rental income, why I am saying I'm not any rental income, because the rental occupation is not on day basis. If you check your apartment is getting empty today, it is not happening that immediately on next day you are getting a tenant. So you have to calculate the difference and you have to calculate what average value you are getting. So as I calculated the maintenance, after paying the maintenance, you are getting a return of 8,500 a month by paying 1,500 as your maintenance charge. Now when you will look at the difference of occupation and empty apartment, your apartment was empty for 3 months. So when your apartment was empty for 3 months, that rental loss has to be adjusted in your average calculation. So a loss of 10,000 every month goes to 30,000 for a per annum. So that 30,000 has to be divided by 12 or 11 months. That figure has to be again reduced in your rental income, which has already come down to 8,500. Now minus the adjustment, let us consider another 1500. So your rental return out of a 50 lakh property is not even clear cut 6,000 rupees. So please think all about these calculations before you put your hard-earned money, before you take a hefty home loan for 20 years, constantly thinking about repaying it, sleepless nights about it. So please think about it before you buy a residential property as an investment. I would suggest to buy a residential property only if you want to end use it. Post post demonetization, post GST, post many other factors, the residential investment ratio, your investment to residential return, that ratio has gone down. So now residential real estate is not such a good option as a pure investment. It is, I would suggest, rather to keep your money in a bank, enjoy the cash. Cash is king. So be the king, keep the cash with you, and please buy a residential property if and only if you want to end use it. Thank you so much. I'll come back to you with many other topics. Next, maybe we'll check on what type of residential property we should buy, ready to move in or under construction. That we'll talk next. Thank you so much. Have a good day.